Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Nat. We have a Connie Fong stamp today. We have a My Favorite Things cable knit sweater. We have some pixie spray, and we are going to do a little bit of stencil work. I'm going to use some hickory smoke stencil, and I'm just going to use a blending brush to go over the top of this. Now the Fiskars silicone mat there that you can see, that helps with grabbing hold of the cardstock really well. But what is even better is, I hope you didn't hear my son, but you probably did hear my son, so sorry. What was I saying? So you spray the pixie spray on the back of the stencil, let it dry for just a few minutes, not too long, and it provides this coating on the back of the stencil. Now as you wash, especially if you use like your texture spray, texture paste, any of those thick stuff that you don't want to stick on your stencil, if you give it a wash, it's still going to have a bit of a stick. Okay, but at some point you're going to have to respray it. But what I'm saying is you get a few tries at it before you actually have to respray it. So I have a box that is literally, it's an order, and I've put a piece of paper towel in the bottom of it, and I put it in there and spray it and just let it go for a couple of minutes, and after a few minutes you're just good to go. So this card is a pretty simple little card. As I said, we've just sponged it with hickory smoke. I was thinking about sponging the background and making it a little bit darker, but I really liked just the contrast with the grey ink against the white. All I'm going to stamp out is out of this set. Now there are some really cool little stamps in this that I will colour at some point, but we're just going to use the parcels today, and there's a little sentiment in that. Honestly, there's quite a few little sentiments in that, but the one we're going to use today is just called, I can't quite read it, Do Not Open Until Christmas. There's more. You've got Ho Ho Ho, you've got a wish for everything merry, and you've got a girl in her Christmas gear. We've got some bows, we've got obviously some presents, and we've got a little poinsettia flower. So I will very much be colouring her in at some point, but for the time being we're just going to use these little presents. The colours are going to pretty much remain the same. So we've got a B69, 66 and 63 there. They're going to rotate between the colours. Literally we use 4 combinations, but one of them is just for some white. You'll see. The dots I'm not going to colour them at all. They're just going to be plain white. So we've got, in this colour, we've got the blue combination. We've got it's a blue green, but it's very more green. Let's be honest, it's more green. And we've got a violet combination. So we just, as I said, like every other time, we're just looking at what lays underneath it. They're only small images, so I'm not fussing too much. See some of those, the bottom of the bow sort of gets a bit buried a little bit, but you're not going to see it, and it's going to be easier. In the real life card, you can actually see more of a definition between the bow, but it's a small bow. Don't sweat the small stuff, sweat the big stuff. But here's our blue greens. So we've got BG78, BG75 and BG72. The combination for the violets, let's just give you those, is V28, V25 and V22. And they're pretty much going to be it. We're just going to rotate the colours around between the bows and the presents and that sort of stuff. So pretty simple, easy little card and it's just nice and quick, and pull out some stencils and have a play with the stencils and some inks. Sorry, I just bumped my camera there. I am actually talking to friends, so if there's any flapping of hands, that's because I'm talking to them. I think most of it I didn't quite catch on the camera, so I might be right, but I have bumped the camera a couple of times, so my apologies. What can I tell you? There's nothing to tell you. Is it just me? But there is nothing to tell people at the moment. We've just had a weekend. Today is the 3rd of October when I did this video and did the voiceover. So it's pretty up to date with the things of the world. Well, the weather's getting really weird and strange, but yeah, I have nothing to tell you. So let's just go back to the card because it's just the same. All the bows are pretty much coloured the same way, with having the darker down the bottom or underneath something. You see more variation in the violets here in real life than you do on the camera. There's a bit more texture. They're still very subtle, but there's a bit more texture in them compared to what you can see there. I am going to cut all these out. I tend to cut things right on the line, so these make it really, really simple. Otherwise, I will put it through my scan and cut. That's the other thing I will quite often do. But these are very, very simple to cut out with them being presents. It's a no-brainer. I thought about doing the dots and different colour and everything, but I like just a simple, straightforward background. See there how I paused? I would have been talking. Most of these boxes are on a little bit of angle, so I'm trying to put a little bit of shading right near the bows and round near the corners. But once again, I'm not fussing too much. So we're just going to go through. I am going to leave a little iCard up here and do some more Copic colouring, because I do like me some Copic colouring. So feel free to have a look at that. And if you haven't yet, I would be really, really honoured to have you subscribe to me. Click that little bell and it will let you get notified every time I put up a video. So we're just going to colour in. So what's happening in your part of the world? Leave me a comment down below on what's happening where you are. I know I've got a few people that are, I know my aunt in England watches me. So, hello. She knows who I am. I'm not going to embarrass her with telling her name. We've cut all those out, so pretty simple. Oh, and she hasn't been well, so I hope she has a speedy recovery. She knows what I'm going to talk about, but all good. She's all good. With this sentiment, I am not a person that cuts my sentiments up. Only because for the living daylights of me, I cannot put these suckers back straight. I can't do it. I just can't do it. I know there's plenty of people out there that have no problem with cutting it up, and I don't have a problem with cutting it up. It's more the fact that I cannot get these suckers straight once I want to put them back together again. That's just me. So what I've done is just use a piece of scrap cardstock. I have to move it over a little bit to so I can have, you know, the Christmas hang off the edge. But we're going to stack these sentiments. So we've got do not open until on the top and then Christmas on the bottom. So if you're happy with cutting up your stamps, that's fine. As I said, I have done it. And I have no problem with doing it. It's the putting the back of those little suckers that I have a problem with. Foam mount tape. Yes, Lenny. I put foam mount tape on it. She always picks on me. And I'm going to put those down. So it's a pretty simple little card, really. We just have the presents that we're going to stack underneath it. I'm just going to play around a little bit with where I want to position those. I knew I wanted the back ones flat. And I'm honestly using the cable knit in the stencil to help me position things a little bit. So we've got the bigger ones in the back and we're going to foam mount just a couple of the little ones in front. After that, all I've got to do is a little bit of stinkles. Sorry, Tim. A little bit of stickles. And I'm just dotting those around the place. I've got a little bit of Winker Stella that we're going to put on as well. And that's it. So if you haven't yet followed me over on Instagram, so I'm Natalie Perry Walsh over on Instagram. If it's the first time you come to my channel, I pretty much just make cards. I'm going to play with a little bit of mail art. So if you're interested in that, I just need to find the time. And we're in the middle of lockdown, and do I have time to do these things? No, which I don't know what I'm doing. But anyway, this is where we've got our grey combination that's going to just help us ground our little presents. So we've got C7, C5 and C3. A little bit of stickles. And because I thought that we still did not have enough sparkle, I put in the Winker Stella off the camera. So I apologize for that. That's it. That's my card. I hope you enjoyed that. Take care. I hope you're well. And I will catch you next time. Bye.